Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to some of you. I welcome you to this very program today, the 22nd of January 2022. And as you can see, the title of this very message says, Beware of Agent of Elimination in Biafra Restoration. And this message goes to our brothers and sisters in Biafra land. And for those of you that is following this very page, in any way you are watching, what we are here to do is to propagate the gospel of Biafra restoration so that the people of Biafra can be able to have their freedom once again from the hands of the Nigerian government. So what we are doing is anchored by the law of the United Nations. We are not doing anything illegal. The armed struggle that we are about marching, it is our God-given right. And as these things is going on, we know that the leadership, the people that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, whom is the leader of this great movement of the indigenous people of Biafra all over the world, leave the mountain of leadership to the people that are supposed to be in charge in the DOS. Rather, they connived and sold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And as we, the new generation or new faces, have picked up the struggle and determined that we are going to do everything humanly possible to make sure that Biafra is being restored. So what they do is to make sure that the people, more especially those in Biafra land, they pick them one by one and eliminate them, which of course they succeeded. But then recently, as they see that the struggle has gained so much momentum, that people are determined, no matter how much they kill us, no matter what they do, we always come stronger. So what they do right now is to go about talking about peace in Biafra land. And I have come out some time ago and say that if these people really determine that they want to fight for the freedom of our people, all they have to do is to implement those things that the people are yelling for, that is going to force the Nigerian government to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, force Nigerian government to give us a date of referendum, force Nigerian government that anything that has to do with election in Biafra land will not be accepted. But then what they do is to go about the people that they did not succeed by eliminating them in Biafra land, those that stand on the side of the truth. What they do right now is to go about using their previous positions in order to try to convince them to come and join them. Now, on the 18th of this very month, January 2023, because today is the 22nd of January 2023, there is an information which we got the general coordinator of the entire Biafra land by name Ikechukwu Ugwuoha, Maduka, aka Benjamin Madubugu, aka Benjamin Madubugu, Onwatuegu, whom is supposed to be the Anambra State coordinator of IPOB, and Nkechi Onyebuchi, whom is supposed to be the IPOB women leader in Anambra State. They are going about calling those that they did not succeed by eliminating them in order for them to come and join them. And you know, our people love to use their eyes to see before they can be able to believe. Just as we are campaigning that there is not going to be any election in Biafra land, but a lot of people are following obedience, thinking that Obi is going to give them the new Nigeria. But we are going to play and analyze a video during the time of Goodluck Jonathan so that you can be able to see that the Nigeria to remain as one is for the benefit of the Western world. Now, if you go to Abia State, if you go to Abia State, what they do there is this: they force our people, our gallant men, to go and retake oath in one Agbara, Udum, Oriebule, in Abia State. I repeat, because I made this exposition some time ago when I was addressing Ikechukwu Ugwoha, pretending to call for peace in Biafra land instead of to implement the things that need to be done, or the people that don't need the kind of in Ebonyi State, the entire of the executive and the leadership of Ebonyi State IPOB, but rather they retain their position. When I was making that reference, I made him to understand, is he not aware that they are now forcing our gallant men to go to Abara, one Abara, which now we got the actual place called Abara, Udum, Orieble, Shrine in Abia State. This is where they are forcing our people, our gallant men, to go there and take an oath. And the person that is championing this goes by name Commander Beast. Commander Beast. Commander Beast, he is behind the deals, so many deals, and importing the Fulani terrorists and the Zoo Nigerian military in Abia State. That is the reason why that so many things is not happening in Abia State. Whenever a sit-at-home is being called, this beast, Commander Beast, will send the people loyal to China Sanworu to come out with their AK-47 in order to begin to shoot people. And once they do this, then you will see people be saying that it is a handwork of this new dimension that we are talking about. Now, this Commander Beast, he is busy building houses, buying cars. He has killed a lot of Eastern Security members in Abia State. You understand what I'm saying now? So as they are killing our people in Abia State, in so many places, so also in Anambra State and so many places, they are calling for peace. So you have to use your tongue to count your teeth. That is why this very message is titled and said, the official angels of eliminations. Official angels of elimination, they will come in a way that they want to make a peace with you. But what they want to do is to get your actual location. To get your actual location. Because you have been hiding from them so that they will not kill you as they kill so many people. Now, what they do now is to do what? To find a way to bring you out so that you can be able to be eliminated. They are official angels of elimination team. Official angels of elimination team. They will come with a peace talk, but they are coming for your life because they believe that the best that can happen to you and for their own benefit is when you are lower under the grave. Under the grave. Now, also information that we got in Ihe Oji, Owerri, Aba, people's shops have been destroyed. People's shops, a na-egbukasị shop ndị mmadụ. A na-egbukasị shop ndị mmadụ. Na-egbukasị ụlọ ndị mmadụ. Na-agbụsị ụlọ ndị mmadụ ọkụ. In Aba, and these are the people in other states. You will see them talking about peace. Talking about peace. Now, going to the issue of the people who are fighting for one Nigeria, I want to play this very video for you to see during the time of Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan wants to do everything humanly possible to make sure that he wiped away everything that had to do with terrorists in the northern part of Nigeria. But because The United States of America, British, and so many other world powers, they are strongly behind the late Buhari for him to come and make sure that terrorists in Nigeria, in the northeast of Nigeria, remain so that they can keep on milking us. I want you to listen to this for yourself. I want you to listen to this for yourself. But before we do that, there is a great song that one of our brother that just released, he just released this very song and asked me to play it so that our people can be able to enjoy and also share the music. He goes by the name Otunwa Mwanya Nwa Chineke. Let us listen to this before we go to the issue of Ndewan Nigeria.
Biko na n'ụrọnụ mo yakizọpụta ụmụ gị n'afụfụ enwe ihe ha ji anyị kpọrọ ọkwụsịsị n'ihe ụgbọmịta mkpụrụ. I don't believe we have everything. My people are living in poverty. It is an unfortunate insanity. I hope it's divided for eternity. Everywhere is death on the street. Every day I see my people crying. I fall on my knees in your presence. We don't know I'm in hell already. Life just kept me staring. The people suffering and they crying. Chase the wave of stereo. We are living in hell already. This who has death are serious. Killing and dying of my people. Crosses heaven's radio. Has killed me. What about Omonani? I think you're no longer. Some are sick, some are living in the swamp, sleeping on the street, get inside the ghetto, dwelling in the gutter. No school, no water, no road or power. Our oil runs the shower. The government's looting money, flying the private jet. The poor man is dying, yet just the food to eat. The soldiers are shooting them every day. Some drowning trying to escape the city. The suffering is doubling, can't take it no more. It's only you can save these people. All we need is our freedom. I'm in hell already, life just kept me staring. The people suffering and they crying. Chase the wave of stereo. We are living in hell already. This who has death are serious. Killing and dying of my people. Crosses heaven's radio. Has killed me.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Very soon, we are going to make his YouTube channel public for people to go and there and watch the program. As you hear the release, part of the release of this very song, a lot of people have been killed. A lot of people are in the forest right now yelling for freedom. Why some freedom fighters are driving private jet, building houses, just like this Commander Beast in Abia State. So if you know Commander Beast and you are contemplating if Commander Beast in Abia State, he is the one in charge of Abia State. If you are contemplating if he's working for Biafra restoration, know it that he is not. And this is just an open introduction of many other exposition that is going to come behind against this, so that because people need to understand exactly what is going on. Now, going to the other news concerning the people who are fighting to make sure that Nigeria remains as one. Of course, United States of America, the British, and so many other world powers, they are behind it to make sure that Nigeria remains the way it is. Because Nigeria remaining the way it is, automatically they will keep benefiting from our suffering. So what we are here to do is to liberate our people from this suffering of bondage, so that our people can be able to freely determine if they want to belong to Nigeria or not. That is all we're asking for. But we know that they can never give it to us freely. We have to make sure that we do everything, enlighten our people, so that they can be able to understand. Because I know that when Master Nnamdi Kanu was here preaching to us on Radio Biafra, everybody was saying, all hail Master Nnamdi Kanu, all hail Master Nnamdi Kanu. But today, the 80% of the people hailing Master Nnamdi Kanu, where Master Nnamdi Kanu was here, are now shouting obedient. Even the so-called freedom fighters or so-called lovers of freedom, that is the truth. We must tell you the truth. Majority, 80% of them are now believing what the coercions, which they call the white man, are going to give to them. Instead of taking what belongs to you, rather, you are accepting what they gave to you. You know what I'm saying now? Accepting what they give to you. And believe you me honestly, the only person that have opportunity to use the one Nigeria to set us free is nobody but good Lord Jonathan. You know what I'm saying now? He gave up the fight easily. Freedom never comes freely. There must be fights. There must be a sacrifice. Now listen to this. For you to know that whatever terror that is going on in Nigeria, the world power are behind it, and they want it to remain so. They want it to remain so. So whenever we are telling you about Fulanization, if we are telling you about Fulanization, Islamization, it is real. So they will always use somebody, people like Peter Obi, in order to do what? To shine on your face for you to believe that your own is coming. Listen to this for you to know that anything that had to do with Nigeria must remain as one. This is what they believe in. But for us, Nigeria must be disintegrated. Listen to this for yourself.
Interference by the Obama's government was very overwhelming. It's not as if I couldn't have won the election even with that. But if by my own thinking and also the way some other people look at it, they go outside the normal diplomatic relationship, then it should be mentioned. Sending that person to Nigeria at the eve of election, after Obama even issued a statement directing Nigerians to vote for the next chapter, that tells you something. And we should not sweep these things under the carpet. If a foreign country, whether African country or even America or any other country, interferes with our own elections, we should mention it. Immediately the Chibok issue came up, we expect Nigerians to be concerned. How do we get these girls out? Within a couple of days, we saw people going to the US would bring back our girls' placards. How? Why? And of course, the Mrs. Obama received one of those placards. I cannot take responsibility for the abduction. I don't control Boko Haram. They are criminals. But as a president, of course, you know, it's not the president that go to the field. You have security and intelligence officers that do the work. Let me admit that, yes, maybe they do their best, but their best was not good enough for us to recover the girls. That does not mean that I'm trying to remove myself from any blame. Yes, I may not be blamed for the action, but I could be blamed that my security and intelligence systems were not strong enough to be able to rescue the girls.
Now, what you just watched now is before he tried to stop anything that had to do with Boko Haram in Nigeria. So they have seen he's consistent, how he determined to stop anything that had to do with terrorists in Nigeria. They have to do everything humanly possible to discredit him so that they will remove him from power and bring in the late Buhari. Now, the next video that you are going to see is the contractors, the military contractors that he contracted to wipe away anything that have to do with Boko Haram terrorists and the terrorists in the North Nigeria. But immediately the late Buhari came in power, he have to stop that. Because so many statements have been made and say that any attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the northern, on the Fulanis. Now, how are you now going to tell us that any attack on the people of the Afra, on the Southeast, on the Eastern Security Network, it is not an attack against the South? Let's listen to this.
One area in the south was the start, and after that was done mop up in the north. The division would follow behind, occupied terrain. We would train the division in situ in defensive positions, etc. But we were never allowed to execute the entire operation. So in 1 month, we took back terrain larger than Belgium from Boko Haram. We were not allowed to finish because it came at a time when governments were in the process of changing. I think President Jonathan's government possibly saw the entire Boko Haram contract, if we call it that, almost as a last gasp in order to regain popularity. The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract.
Could you name that foreign government?
Yes, we were told it was the United States.
You see? United States supporting Boko Haram, supporting Al-Qaeda, supporting so many terrorists in the northern Nigeria. And today, people are shouting obedience. Some of the fools that are shouting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, all hail Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, all hail Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, today they are talking about obedience. Today they are talking about one Nigeria. But Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS dungeon. Nobody is talking about him. Nobody is doing or trying to force these people to release him, to give us our freedom by referendum, to implement anything implementable to make sure that we force their hand to give us what we want. Rather, they are facing their face on the other side. What do you think that UOB will come and do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Let's continue watching.
And they had actually funded President Buhari's campaign. The campaign manager for President Buhari came from the US. And I'm not saying that the United States is bad. I understand foreign interests, but I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram on the integrity of the state of Nigeria ought to be actually a priority. It wasn't.
Why do you think the U.S. would intervene to abort such operation?
Again, I can't answer that. I think that the US can answer, but what I've come to realize, that is when a government's foreign interests clash with the state's own domestic interests, conflict is bound to ensue. And those conflicts usually just continue with no end. And we can look at all the conflicts in Africa where foreign forces have come in, they've prolonged those conflicts, they haven't ended those conflicts. And the amount of money and manpower and equipment thrown at those conflicts says to me that something is wrong if no end result is achieved. And surely that end result should be to end the conflict and establish a basis for negotiations, come to an agreement, and then re-establish governance. But that's not what's happening in Africa.
How much did you charge the Nigerian government?
Well, first of all, we didn't charge the Nigerian government. And I think, yeah, that is a question the Nigerian government can answer. We were one subcontractor. So in other words, the Nigerian government appointed a contractor, and we contracted to that contractor as their subcontractor. So I think that's all I'll say. If you're really interested in the figures, that's for the Nigerian government to discuss.
You see that? So those of you who are shouting obedient, allow obedient to come in, let him rule. What you are supporting a mass genocide against your own people. And we are not going to allow you to do that. A lot of people are working. Even on the ground, a lot of people are working. I can assure you that. A lot of people are working. It's only few of you will see on the surface, listening. But on the ground, a lot of people are working. So I want you to bear that in mind. I want you to bear that in mind. And this will be the end of this very program. Beware of official agent of elimination. They will come in a way of making peace with you in order to eliminate you. In the other part, they are forcing our people to abide by their rules in order to sabotage what we are doing. I still remember as Odinkeman Kendele Chineke, aka Afro Cronkite, the second disciple of Onyen Dumazin Nnamdi Kanu, serving the indigenous people of the Afra through media, evangelists, and also in music. Shalom.
Think about freedom, think about the after now. I wanna go home. Every time I see you, every time I wanna buy Nigeria, I wanna go home. Think about it now. Do you wanna go? I wanna go home. Cause I wanna go home. Cause I wanna go home. Yeah.
Think about the time where you want to go home. If any nine make it a chukunanyerani, Omaka Kitonya Bona Dissimate Afra, Kirona East Patanona Sa, Onyapona Netchesipe Afra, Makabani Chekisenu Gausa, Intimiduba, De Yoruba, Onyapona Netchesipe Afra, Umweromana Nimepe Afra, Manajuna Junde Kamuke, Willy Kopiano and the Mekofa. Here, Kedihe Unu Jebi Hunu Neme, when I Katakono Achigen in the enemy. But I'll not the kind of what you sit in a brick by Kenya to Nigeria.
Think about freedom, think about the after now. I wanna go home.
The number Tani Ariwo to do what them to me go and the boy is some.
Every time I see you, every time I wanna buy Nigeria, I wanna go home.
The Mutte so one Nigerian passes to me to go and the boy is some.
Think about the time, think about it now. Do you wanna go? I wanna go home.
You want the Nigerian number. Cause I wanna go home. you are if you are I'm listening again and again. Otokwa soludo na ifanyuba kiti bada kunu neti leti kedife patiteli ajijo makona binengere efuze ni hebi na nemi makanwero wanyi masina ndikanu dukonye ndu onye chukutere manu wasinye dubanyi Ogwara Nigerian government 2002 wasi hamne paranya mari heneme Anoto Nigeria kuro Nigerian government ne paranya kahamaru kwa ni heneme Wananyite blue flag maputa ni rogo wena jomwero wanyi Maputa na wanyi kanunchi Ndi anungome watareze tutu wata wasi na hagaga na kikire manyi Wakepepe luko belunke sini penya mebe
Your body after now I wanna go home
Putana mutani aribu otutu wanya mito miko wade kwa waye semen.
Every time I see you, every time I wanna run Nigeria I wanna go home
The muke so wange Nigeria na mapasa shito miko wade kwa waye semen.
Your body down, do you wanna go? I wanna go home
Do you wange Nigeria na mapasa shito the summer.
Cause I wanna go
Here You are
Cause I wanna go home
If you are Again and again Apungine sanyi funo nyopo na chizi na kakowe Metopota makanande kanu 2014 Wene konyobo na muranya kaza Aji metopota basala aba ala haji kiyari Aba kiyari informing harsh papi Conspiracy, fraud, laundry, money A super hierarchy police officer in the damnable zoological Republic of Nigeria He is wanted by the FBI in the United States of America Over his link to internet fraudster Remote Balode aka Hush Papi Back to the IPO with the indigenous people of the Alfred Whatever we do in Nigeria we do you within the comfort of the law That is what as a Nigerian nobody been able to recognize us
Think about the after now I wanna go home
Tena mutani ariwo otutu wade mido miko wade kwa waye semen.
Every time I see you, every time I wanna run Nigeria I wanna go home
The muke so wange Nigeria na mapasa shito miko wade kwa waye semen.
Your body now, do you wanna go? I wanna go home
Do you wange Nigeria na mapasa the summer.
Cause I wanna go home
Cause
I wanna go home
If you are
Cause I wanna go home
If you are
Cause I wanna go home Yeah.
Microphone